Hey guys, thanks for joining me at Pittsburgh Prep as you continue your lesson in reading comprehension. Today we'll focus on lesson number 3, where we talk about the idea of understanding and analyzing historical passages in reading comprehension. So historical passages are passages that involve the essential issues that have formed sort of this great global conversation. And we'll also focus on the issues that have shaped this country of ours in the US. So whenever you read passages that discuss slavery or women's rights or the succession of the United States from the British rule, all of these topics are historical passages. Now, what makes them special is that underlying core is this issue, and the author will then have a particular position, will really try to influence you. Furthermore, it's because historical passages will focus on issues that were controversial in the past and topics that have influenced our history. These kinds of passages are ripe for paired passages, passages that contain two different perspectives on a single issue. So how do we tackle paired passages differently? Well, one of the ways is to understand the proper logistics. You want to tackle paired passages by reading the first passage and answering the questions and going through the proper reading methodologies that you had already covered in our previous lesson, and then answering the questions particular to that passage. And then once you're done with passage number 1, then you want to tackle passage number 2 in the same way while forgetting about passage number 1. Right? Again, read passage number 1, answer all questions based on passage number 1, forget about that, and then read passage number 2 and then answer all questions based on passage number 2. And then once you're finally done, then finally tackle all the questions that involve both passages, and you should then be able to effectuate this particular methodology that results in your highest score. So remember, in historical passages, you want to really make sure that you're, number 1, able to identify the passage type itself. Number 2, apply the proper reading methodologies that we had already covered together in our previous lesson in your textbook. And then number 3, if you were to encounter paired passages, which by the way could happen in any passage that you encounter, but historical passages just tend to be more ripe for paired passages. So when you read paired passages, to effectuate your paired passage methodology that we recommend. Our priority here at Pittsburgh Prep is to focus on proper reading methodologies. And so if you had forgotten what those methods are, go back to lesson 1 and review those methods. We had 5 points to consider, and make sure that that method becomes an inherent part of you tackling any and every reading passage moving forward. All right, you guys, stay strong, stay focused, and be powerful in the way that you attack reading from now on. Keep going strong, and I'll see you guys in our next preview lesson.